In this video I'm going to explain the plastics and the basic plastics we are going to see. So first, what is a plastic? A plastic is a polymer, which is a big molecule made by the repetition of smaller molecules called monomer. So as you see in this image, this will be a monomer, and when many monomers are placed together like this, that is what we will call a polymer. Also, polymer most of the times can have this kind of shape with all the monomer placed in line, but they can also form the other kinds of bonds, and the different kinds of chemical bonds inside a polymer is what will give each plastics their properties. Let's go with the types of plastics. There are many different types of plastics with many different types of properties, but we are going to classify them in two types, which are thermoplastic and thermosets. The first one, thermoplastics, is a kind of plastic that do not form irreversible chemical bonds. All their chemical bonds are reversible, and when they are heated, they melt easily, and after cooling, they become solid again. You don't need a lot of heat to melt it, and that is because their chemical bonds. And also, as soon as easily as they melt, they become solid again. And some examples are nylon, ABS, and PLA. Now, thermosets. Thermosets form irreversible chemical bonds, the opposite as the thermoplastic, and since they have these kinds of bonds, they can resist high temperatures. But if the temperature is very high, they decompose instead of melting and cannot be conformed again. They become like dust and are useless in that kind. So they resist very high temperatures, but once they pass certain point, they became useless and they decompose. And some examples will be polyester resin, polyurethane, and duroplast. And now let's see both of them by comparison. So, resistance to heat. Thermoplastic has low resistance to heat because of their molecular structure without irreversible bonds, while thermosets have high resistance to heat because of their irreversible molecular bond. The type of molecular bonds, as I say, is reversible for thermoplastic, but irreversible for thermoset. And how many times it can be conformed? Thermoplastic can be conformed indefinitely, since you can melt it, and when they cool, they become solid again. By thermosets can only be conformed once, since if you try to melt it again, instead of melting, they will decompose. So up to this point, the video explaining the different kinds of plastics.